So all the 91 user stories are completed. Sorry, 90 user stories are completed now.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So can you see my screen, Dilip?
Yeah. I'm able to see your screen. Yeah.
Karthik, how about you?
Yeah, I can see that, Sharon.
Oh. So this is a screen we have completed. We have moved all the user stories to completion level.
Just click on active sprints once.
Which one?
Active sprints. There are no user stories in active sprints now.
Issues
Active
report.
sprints. No. Active sprints.
Active sprint. Okay.
Yeah. So no user stories here.
Yeah.
Go to the issues and filters. We have 9 open issues. Possibly these 9 are epics, I guess, right?
Yes.
Done issues. Click on done issues. We are 92. You added any user stories here?
While uploading this thing, like a few of them are doubles actually.
Okay.
Repetitives.
Okay. So 2 are repetitive, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
One is not applicable and the other one is repetitive.
Okay. So one is invalid, you mean to say?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've tried to delete that one, but it says like you need to have a permission to do that.
That's what. Okay, fine. Anyways, so 92 issues are there. All the 92 issues are completed.
Yes.
And open issues are 9. That is only once you click on open issues, we will check any user stories pending there or not, or only epics that we have it here. Okay, all are violet colors, right?
Yes.
Violet color is representing this epic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where are we navigating next?
Back to the project. Yes.
Backlog?
No, not backlog. Release.
Releases. Okay.
You took all the snapshots, right? Product sprint burn down, all these snapshots that you took it by the time, right?
Yes. Yes.
So now the complete progress is done, right? So
Okay.
completely your bar is completed, green color.
Yes.
So it is ready to release, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Now click on release.
So after I press release, can we come back and see again the work done?
No. Then if that is the case, if you want me to show your work, open your work first, then only we'll go for release.
Dilip, I think I missed like how you made it to the release.
Release, simply we click on releases, that's it, shippable product.
Okay.
Okay, there we will get all the versions which are upcoming to release. Because if you see the progress, then you'll understand how many user stories are pending, how many are completed, everything that you can see in that particular progress bar.
Okay.
Progress bar is there, no? There you can see everything.
Shall I go to reports now?
Yes. Burn down charts we will see. Yeah.
I'll press on this. Okay, while I press here, I can see each sprint wise burn down.
Why this sprint 6 is having multiple fluctuations in your burn down?
Karthik.
All of a sudden you are working on 3 user stories, again some taking break, again one user story, again taking break, again one user story. Why it is like that?
So Karthik, can you tell Dilip like your work done sprint, right?
Sorry. Pardon, what did you just say, Sharon?
Sorry?
What did you just say?
No, like why the graph is like fluctuating like this instead of straight and flat?
Which sprint is that?
Number 6. This is 6th one. Last one.
I believe because like I was moving a few stories at once, like into progression.
Okay.
So maybe it could be like that.
Okay,
Like I
so
was
so the straight bar representing that you're working on the time, and all of a sudden you are closing 3, or it is not
3
like
or
1
4.
1 you
Yeah,
are not moving, right?
yeah. That's why it's like that.
Okay, fine. Right.
So
See, your graph will represent your work. Okay, as I told you in the first discussion, if you remember, there might be a
yeah,
fluctuation in your graph. As per the plan,
yes,
if you worked the straight line, you'll get it as per the plan. Okay,
yeah, straight
but
and
straight line. Okay, if it is see the gray color is guideline. If you see here on the right hand side, we have this, right? See, this gray color is on the top, on the top. Yes, here.
yeah.
See, the gray color is guideline, and the remaining values it has been representing. Okay, red color. Okay, your work. That is your work. Okay,
Okay.
done, done. You took the snapshot of this, Sharon?
No, no, not for sprint 5 and 6. I've done till 4. It's fine.
Yeah, Karthik, you take that snapshots. No, that will be good because who is the product owner for this? Who is the Scrum Master for this? I'm sorry. Who is the Scrum Master for Sprint 6?
Sprint 6, Ritika or Karthik?
Actually, I swapped her because I wasn't well, so it has helped me to a major part in sprint 2. So that's why I took sprint 6.
Okay. So you are the Scrum Master for Sprint 6.
Yeah.
Okay, then you take the snapshot and add it to your M1. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sprint 5. Oh. So first, come down. So you started by 6:50. Go. You started by 6:50. Night, it's 20:40 is nothing but what time it is? 20:40 is
8,
nothing but 8
8, 4.
8:40. So first 2 hours you didn't work anything, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you started your work again. You completed your work by within 1 or 2 hours, possibly yesterday,
Yes, 1 hour.
right?
Yeah.
See, your graph is representing everything,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
So is this a negative issue in terms of real time?
Of course, no. If you didn't started work, ultimately that will represent here. Why burn down chat has been downloading? As I told you, even I asked you in the previous diagram as well, right?
Correct.
So if you are not working, the graph is flat.
Correct. Like this.
Okay, that representing you're not working on any user story so far.
Okay, for first couple of hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see sprint 4 as well actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, before the plan, you close the sprint. Eh? Some manipulation happened here, I guess.
Because like due to power fluctuations, we thought to close it by 6:30, but still we have done it at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Mhm. So as per the plan, it is as per the plan, it is the graph. The graph has been representing, but unfortunately, you closed it before the graph.
Yeah, what if we complete before time?
No, not
actually?
a problem. 100% that is acceptable.
Okay, this is accepted actually.
This is accepted actually. But see, your planning is go up. Yeah, yeah. I want the values. I want the values. Graph values. No. Graph values I wanted. Only graph.
Okay.
Yes. Graph. Come down. Yes. See here. Come down a bit. Yes. See, your planning work is possibly 4 o'clock you started. The next day 6 o'clock. 4 to next day 6 o'clock you planned it, right?
Yes.
Okay, possibly somewhere you took possibly 12 hours or 13 hours somewhere, if I'm not wrong,
Because
right?
because it's mandatory to include the next day date actually. If I include the
Oh,
same
same date
date,
it is not accepting, yeah?
it's not accepting. Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, this gap should not be accepted. This much use gap is not accepted if you see. You have closed your sprint before somewhere around 20 hours before,
Okay. Yes.
right?
Yes.
This is not accepted because you are wasting time. So the developers are that means the developers are wasting or overestimating the user stories, and they're sitting ideal for more time. Okay, this is not accepted. Hardly 1-2 hours or 1 day will be fine in the real time. Okay, but it's not like you planned 3 weeks and you completed the sprint in first week only. The second and third weeks you are keeping ideal. That is not accepted. Possibly you understood what I'm trying to tell you, right?
Yes, but according to the software, like how can we compensate that one, because it's taking like a next day as a
Not a problem. Here I'm telling you. Okay, in the real time, how the people are considering. I'm telling you. Here we can't do anything. So we may not the responsible person for this gap. Okay, but in real time, if such a huge gap is there, then people will think, because being a product owner, if I'm going to see this burn down chat, simply I can understand you people are overestimating the story points and you are keeping ideal yourself most of the time. This is what my understanding.
okay.
Karthik, your understanding?
That affects on the CP value. See here.
Of course, no. Yeah,
Yes.
you are overestimating. You are giving actually the CP value is very less, but you are giving over CP values and you are keeping ideal yourself.
Correct.
Right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So this graph is representing that. Okay. If it is hardly 1-2 hours, it's not a problem. And even in real time, even 1 or 2 days gap, it's not a problem, because if you plan 3 weeks, you completed in what we can say 2.5 weeks. Hardly 1 or 2 days, you will be having ideal time. At that moment, at least you can refine the product. If any other user stories, you can map it as well. The chance is there. But if you plan 3 weeks and if you completed your work in a first week, ultimately you are manipulating the sprints, right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, that should not happen. Simple.
Okay. So that's it. You want to see sprint 3 as well?
Yeah, sprint 3 already I've seen.
No. Even it's like the same gap here. Sprint 3.
Okay, same, huh?
Same. Because
Okay.
of the date issues actually.
Okay.
And similarly, sprint 2 and sprint 1 as well, straight and flat. This is sprint 2.
Okay, sprint 2 is as per the plan. Okay,
Yes.
go up. Okay. So first 3-4 hours we didn't do anything.
Correct.
If I'm not wrong, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you understood how this burn down chat graphs have been working now?
Yes.
My point is, first of all, you should understand your graph is representing your work, what you did.
Yes.
Karthik, what about you?
What, Dilip?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Karthik.
Yeah, I didn't get it. What did you ask, Dilip?
Are you getting how this burn down charts have been representing your work, your development team work?
Yeah, Dilip.
Right?
Yeah,
so
I do
if they are manipulating or if they are deviating the work, ultimately that will be reflected here. Hope you understood how this burn down chart or burn up chart will help us. Okay.
Correct.
So with this, we can easily track where people are working. Anyone is sitting ideal or anyone is dragging the user story. Everything we can track it with using this burn down charts. Possibly understood, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the reason Jira is such a successful tool in the market.
Correct. But like as a fresher, like how do you know that's like the CP is ideal value and is under optimization level?
I didn't understand your point. Being a fresher?
Being a fresher, you give some CP values as a developer.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be overestimated or underestimated sometimes.
That's the reason you are along with the team. You are not individually are giving your CP values, right? Here we gave individual CPs, but I told you, in the workshop, even developers together will give their CP values and they'll discuss why they are giving that CP. If someone is having some inequalities, other people will make them understand, make them justify their points, right or wrong? Okay, as a fresher,
the seniors gonna help them.
Exactly. Let's say as a fresher, you don't know, you may give huge values to a couple of user stories. Okay. At that moment, the senior person will show possibly somehow less story points, right or wrong? At that moment, that guy will justify and will give you such knowledge where how to complete it, because possibly they have multiple standard procedures where they can simply use it. Reusable components, we call it as. That is what standard procedures, right?
Correct.
So if we have specific standard procedures where we can reuse it, so the story points will be less. Okay, that understanding you should provide it to the fresher, and you make them come to the same points. Then only you can proceed with the next user story, right or wrong?
Yes.
There should not be any inequalities between juniors and seniors. That's the reason I said in the beginning only. Well, when we are starting, there is no superior, there is no junior here in the Scrum.
Yeah.
Everyone is equivalent. Everyone should coordinate with the team and should work on it. As simple as this.
Okay, Dilip.
Okay.
So do we have anything to do with these charts? Actually, we have a pie chart and everything. I had a look among these things while doing sprint 4 actually.
Okay, you can look into that, but actually the time tracking, everything we can do it here. But here we are not capturing time tracking, all these things, right?
Okay.
So majority of the cases we are using burn down. Even burn up is very rare cases. Still, I told you burn up is also we are preparing, but very rare cases we are going for.
Okay.
Majority of the cases burn down. How much work is pending? People are going to see.
Okay. As a BA, we are concentrating only on burn down charts.
Burn down charts. Majority of the cases. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The rest of the charts, as and when required, you can open and you can observe. That's more than sufficient.
Yeah, I took like a few of them as a screenshot for my reference actually.
That was really good. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going back to project.
Yeah. Karthik, any questions here from your end?
No, not yet.
So I'm going to release.
Yeah.
Karthik, did you take the screenshots?
Not yet, Sharan. So I have to take it now itself before release.
Yeah, please. You take it for sprint 5 and 6. Just a bond down shot should do, so that
Otherwise, no worries. Otherwise, no, don't be hurry. Once you take that screenshot, then only release the product. I hope you are aware how to release the product. Okay, and just simply click on it.
Okay.
Okay, it'll ask you, and don't release.
Yeah.
See, 90 issues will be released. 90 issues are completed. It is telling you. If the 90 issues are completed and you thought only 90 issues are there and it is been closed, then you can release the product.
Okay.
Okay, it is still pending. It will show you how many things are pending. Okay, are you going to move to the next version or something? It will ask you. Okay.
Okay.
Straight away, next version is not been created here. You need to create again. Okay.
So it won't prompt us like, can we create a next version?
Here you can't. Here it is not going to prompt you. Okay. Release you can't create it here. Again, version you can create there in the board itself. Okay. Okay. Because that is the next software, right? It is not a continuation part. That is the next software release.
Like what if I create like 2 versions in faster initial?
Then you can move it.
So then it will prompt here.
Create
initial.
Yes, drop down it will prompt.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, as of now, don't release. You understood, right? How to release it. Okay, yes. Once you took the snapshots, then only try to release it.
Okay, Dilip.
Karthik, you are clear on this?
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay.
So I'm just stopping share here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Yeah. So you're able to see my screen now?
Yes.
It's been a week and a half, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So we started this data modeling. Hope you remember.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
My strong gut feeling is you didn't forget about it, right?
No.
I'm sure.
Until unless.
Yeah, Dilip.
What about you?
No, didn't really forget anything.
Okay, fine. So still we are pending with reporting tables. Hope you remember. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Reporting tables. I want you to work on it. Okay. Still we have some time. Okay. So if during this 3-4 days, if you can complete these reports, once I'll review it and then I'll close this data modeling. Okay. Once the reporting is done, even we need to map these tables to the screen mockups. That is what data mapping. Hope you remember.
Okay. Yes.
For each screen, we identified initially entities. Okay, like page processing entities, page loading entities, and mouse over entities. Do you remember? Karthik.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. In place of that, now we need to map based on the entities which tables are being mapped there. Okay. For example, patient registration is there. So what sort of tables are going to be mapped to that particular screen? That is data mapping. You got the point?
Okay. And where are we mapping there?
I'm sorry.
Under which screen we are mapping?
Yes. For example, this patient details is there. Under which screens that you are going to use this particular patient details, you need to map this table there.
Okay.
Okay. For example, let me open one screen. Possibly you did multiple screens, right?
Yes.
Screen opens. Did anyone convert it into Word document by any chance?
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We have a lot of Word documents.
Yes. Okay. See, one Word document is available. I'm opening. For example, now this screen is there. Okay. So in this screen, for example, this username and password is there. This has been coming from different tables possibly, right?
Correct.
Okay. Might be user employee details or some user login details or something we maintain here. either transaction or link or master, right? So
Yes.
those tables that you need to map it here in this, I'm sorry. In this, what we can say screen markup. Below to this, instead of this page processing entities, otherwise you can keep the same, and below this, write down your tables. Okay, table names and table columns. Try to copy paste.
Okay.
So that we will understand for which screen, what tables or what information we are using. That is what data mapping.
Okay.
No, which tables are there in it? No, I'm not yet sure. Can you just...
See, for username and password, you kept user details or something. I'll open just a second. Possibly
Which
it's
table are you talking about? Transaction, link, or
Master.
master?
either of these tables. No, it might be transaction, or it might be master, or it might be link as well. Okay, so where we are maintaining this username and password, guys?
Go
See,
up.
I asked you, but I forgot it.
Go up. Payment modes.
Probably it's a transaction table.
No, but it's there in a master table.
Employee session details.
Login time.
It's
login.
one of the relevant table. And login details, did I mention anywhere here?
Yes, yes. We have just you have just.
That's what somewhere we mentioned it.
Go up. Go up. Login time and logout time. I've seen now. Go up.
Username and password, where it is? Yeah, username and password. See this one.
Yes.
Karthik,
Well,
you understood this table that we are going to map there, right?
yeah.
Because this table you are using there for username and password. Okay.
For login.
And if you see the transaction table, employee session details, if you have any session details there in the admin page or there in the BO page, okay, they are going to see how much time the employee has been spending on the site or spending on the HMS portal. Then there you can map this particular table.
Okay.
Right or wrong?
Okay.
Got it.
It's like a timesheet.
Exactly. Timesheets, when we are going to see like HR or BO or admin, then there you map that particular timesheets or this session login logouts. Okay, but here in this particular screen, if you see username and password, it is being getting from the table called employee details, right or wrong? The
Correct.
same employee details, you can keep it here.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Yeah.
Ritika, you joined just now. Hello?
Yes.
Ritika, you're getting?
Hello.
Yeah, Ritika, you're getting?
Hello.
Ritika, we are able to hear you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Just no, John. Just I'm listening, sir.
Yeah, just now we started a new concept. Till now we are working on this sprint execution only. This product release, all these things I've seen reports. That's it. Okay. Just now we started this data modeling. In data modeling, we are pending with reporting tables. Okay. Hope you remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Even reporting tables, I want you to work on. Okay. We completed this transaction link and master, if I'm not wrong. Only reporting tables are pending. Started working on it, and I'm asking after reporting tables identification, mapping these tables to our screens, data mapping. Okay, based on the screen, what sort of tables we are using in the backend. That tables we need to simply copy paste here. Am I clear?
Okay.
Karthik. Okay, see here we validate prescription, we said. Okay, this patient ID, from which table that you are validating this patient ID, you need to map it here. Okay.
I believe,
And yeah,
while pasting the table, like, do you want us to like only paste only certain columns of the table? Or
no, better you copy the complete table. That will be good. Okay, what information that you're going to display, that will come under abstraction. Okay, that will be decided by the DB administrator. You don't need to bother about it. You know, you remember data abstraction, which information should be visible, which information should be hidden. Hope you remember the concept. In silence. Oops,
Yeah.
concepts, you remember?
Yes.
yeah, object-oriented program.
Okay, object-oriented program. There we learn this encapsulation and abstraction, all these
polymorphism.
things, right? Polymorphism, all these things. So this is what abstraction. Okay, for example, you're clicking on patient number and you are going to display some information, not the complete information you may not display to the end user, right or wrong? So which information you are going to, what we can say, show, and which information you should hide, that will be decided by the database administrator using the concept called abstraction.
Yeah.
Am I clear?
Yes.
Understood so far?
Yes, Dilip.
Ritika, what about you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the pending task from your end. Start working on it concerning DB models. Okay, so that once the data mapping is also completed, the complete DB modeling is completed. Am I clear?
Okay, Dilip.
Yeah. Now get into the documentation part, which is very important thing. Okay, and it is not that tough, to be fair, for us, because most of the elements of these documents, as majority of the documents we are preparing, this BRD and FRD, including RTO, right or wrong? So including these three documents, majority of the elements already we prepared so far. Simply we can move those elements, those the content here to the BRD and FRD and RTO. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, because already we have use cases, and already we have activities, already we have screen mockups, we have DB models, everything we have it, even business goals, objectives, assumptions, constraints, everything we have it handy,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
simply we need to understand where to move that information, either it is to the BRD or to the FRD or to the RTM or some other document that we need to understand, and we started just moving moving that information here. That's it. It's not that
Okay.
difficult task, but still,
Okay.
okay, the other documents, okay, which we need to be aware, and we need to refer in few scenarios. That's the reason I kept here 8 documents so far, if you see.
Okay.
Even I gave numbering as well. Karthik, you asked me one point of time which document where we prepare, right?
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay, so for our understanding, I kept even numberings as well. Okay, which document first will come, then what document we prepare, all these things I mentioned. Even I'll take a basic session on this. Okay, the complete SDLC life cycle, what documents, where we involve, where the other people will involve, that I'll take it. Okay, either tomorrow or day tomorrow, I'll explain you that. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
And now getting into this business case template, let us see today business case, WBS, and planning BS strategy. These three things we will understand today. Okay. Tomorrow we'll discuss BRD and FRD. Okay.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah, Dilip.
Yeah. And this business case already we discussed in the beginning. If you remember the first introduction part, okay, we discussed the two different scenarios. If you remember, we may come across two different scenarios in the real time. One might be the problem statement, one might be the solution outlet that we discussed, if you remember.
Correct.
Did you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, Dilip.
Let me open that. Here it is there. This is the session 1 notes, if you remember. Here, a couple of things I added. Okay, don't need to worry about it. But still, if you remember this problem statement and expectation set, do you remember this?
Yes.
And even I told you now the current business scenario which we are working on is the expected set. So 90% of scenarios, what exactly VA is doing so far, we have already did that.
So Dilip, the point number 2, like the expectations set, is the point like where the client already knows like what exactly
He wants. Exactly.
and he's going to delegate his
Exactly. He's going
answer
to
us when we
share
have to
his
put up a
expectation
mask.
with us. Okay. In terms of in few scenarios, a single short description he may give it to us, or a single statement or a single line. In few scenarios, they may come up with some single statements as well, single line statements. In few scenarios, they may share with you some expectation set in a document as well. But ultimately, expectation set is nothing but client has a clear vision what he is looking for, what he is expecting for from the IT industry. That is what the second scenario. But if you see the first scenario, if you remember, even client may come up with some sort of problem statements as well in few scenarios when they don't know how to fix that particular problem areas. Remember that?
Yes.
Already we discussed about it, right?
Yes.
And at that moment we discussed even we may provide couple of solutions, either COTS. Already we discussed about this COTS, like Salesforce
Example
CRM,
or
Siebel. Yes. Okay, even I mentioned couple of examples here, if you remember. Salesforce CRM, Siebel CRM, Oracle ERP.
Yes.
We discussed about all these things, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Dilip.
Karthik,
Yeah, Dilip.
right? So either we may suggest a COTS solution, or even we can go with the open source application implementation as well. Okay, and I provided only 2 solutions here. Even I told you it may not be required only 2. It may be having multiple solutions altogether. It's not like only 2. Okay, here we, for example, we discussed only 2 different solutions, possible solutions to the problem statement. In real time, you may come up with multiple solutions. Okay, and for each solution, we should provide ranking. I told you. Remember? And then only we can provide the suggested recommended solution.
And how do you provide that ranking for the solutions using SWOT?
I'm sorry. How do you provide? I'm sorry.
How do you provide the ranking among your recommendations? Because all these are basically your
Using different parameters here. Even a couple of parameters I kept it here. Okay, in terms of budget. Okay, for example, COTS budget for implementing COTS. What sort of budget it has been incurring? Okay, and open source implementation. How much cost it has been incurring? Okay, how many resources you are what we can say working on this COTS to implement? Okay, how many resources are required to implement this open source? And what sort of risks are there in COTS? What sort of risks are there in the open source? In terms of
can we
multiple
do SWOT analysis for this, for the products?
yes,
Like
even complete enterprise analysis we need to do it when we are coming up with the business case. Complete enterprise analysis, not only SWOT. Okay, complete enterprise analysis we need to do it, and we need to come up with this multiple solutions. Okay, because to provide solution, until and unless you don't know what sort of strengths of the business is having, what sort of weaknesses business is having, you may not provide a solution, right or wrong? Okay, once you perform enterprise analysis where SWOT or problem analysis, if you perform it, okay, then only you'll understand the company, the business strengths and weaknesses, even opportunities. From the opportunities, you can get into the solutions part, right or wrong? Right? Yeah. So SWOT can be applied on the as-is process. Do remember, SWOT can be applied on the as-is process. Even that's the reason we asked you to do SWOT analysis on your existing profile before joining internship. Hope you remember.
Yes.
Always as-is process needs to be analyzed using SWOT. Okay, so whenever we are start analyzing the strengths and weakness, opportunities and threats on the as-is process, based on the strengths, okay, based on the opportunities, we need to fix the weaknesses and the challenges and the threats, right or wrong? We can utilize the strengths and the opportunities, and we need to build a solution, and we need to address the weaknesses and the threats. Threats are nothing but risks, simply I can say. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Karthik. Ritika, you are clear on this? Ritika is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so if you remember this problem statement, this business case will be coming into picture on this first scenario. Even that's the reason I told you business cases we are coming up with. So this business case might be having solution in few scenarios. Otherwise, this complete problem statement along with this multiple solutions. Okay, so now we are seeing the first scenario business case. If you see, this business case template is a first scenario business case template. Okay, and this going forward, once we started working on the documents part, couple of elements are mandatory. Do remember, okay, the document control, like document information is mandatory, and version control, document version control history we call it as, otherwise document history. Okay, these two are mandatory for every document which you are going to develop. Even already we are doing like V1, D2, V1, D1, already we are doing all these things, right? Multiple versions of documents that we are dealing with, right? So this document history going forward, we need to make it for every document. If you are preparing a understanding document, you need to maintain this history, like which version you are preparing, when you are preparing this, and what sort of information that you are keeping. And if you are changing that particular version, like version 1, D2, you are changing it. Now you need to mention what sort of changes that you mapped there to the version 2 document. Am I clear?
Okay.
Karthik and Ritika. This version history will tell us which version you are currently working on and how many versions of this document will have. For example, you may have multiple versions of the same document, right or wrong? And which version of the document is this now? Okay. And what sort of add-ons or what sort of changes that is being added to this particular document, we may understand with the document history only.
Dilip, I got like what exactly is the document history, but why would we have different versions of the document?
I'll tell
Why
you.
we keep adding
yes, which is very important thing.
document.
Which is very important thing. Once you started interacting with the client, or once you started gathering some information from the client end, you may come up with the initial draft. That is 1.0, right?
Yeah.
And once you prepared an initial draft, you go and interact with the client, and you are taking some inputs on that, right? Right or wrong? Either client or the project manager, you are going to share the document. You ask them to review and share their inputs, right or wrong? Once they started reviewing it, and they may share some add-ons. Okay, they may share some add-ons, or they may suggest some improvements. Okay, that improvements you should not make it to the current version of document. Do remember? You got the point?
Yeah.
Okay, if they are suggesting some improvement areas or some add-ons or add-on features or improvement areas to the existing features from the project manager or from the client end, then you should come up with the next version of document. Like the same version 1, 1.1 or 1.2 or 1.3 or V1, D1. We have different version controls. Couple of people are keeping 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 like that. Couple of people, even in our company, we are following version 1, D1, version 1, D2, version 1, D3. Till the current scope is being completely changing, it is version 1 only. If a majority of the changes have been added, then the second software release, second version of software release will come into picture. That is V2, version 2, D1 again, version 2, D2, version 2, D3. And in real time, majority of the cases, minimum 5 versions of documents will be there. Okay, before approving a document. You got the point?
The scope
Minimum-
What do you mean by approving a document here?
I'm sorry.
What do you mean by approving a document here?
Every document needs to be approved. Then only you can proceed with the next level. Until and unless this business case approved, okay, you can't
So-
prepare this BRD. Right?
So Dilip, like you're working on a particular document.
Karthik, some disturbance is going on from here. Yeah.
Dilip, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm able
So,
to hear.
yeah. So I'm saying that imagine that you're working on a particular document.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then so if the particular version is actually 1.0, then basically after you take sign up and then after you start working on and imagine that the first version is approved, and then if you add more changes to it, then it will be version 2, right? So the version numbering will increase after sign up.
No. Version 2 will come into picture when it is a completely a big scope change. For example, let me consider a fair example for our understanding. So far we are working on OP billing management system, right? Outpatient billing and billing management system possibly we are working, right or wrong?
Yes.
So now if you are working on this OP billing, that is version 1. In this OP billing, okay, client may suggest multiple improvements. Do you really think in the first version only client will give approval?
No.
It never happened. Okay, that's the reason I'm telling a minimum of 5 different what we can say revisions may happen. It is minimum I'm talking about. In few scenarios, couple of people are having even 10 plus revisions. Okay, but all revisions will happen to the first version only. Now all of a sudden client want, even I want inpatient module as well to be added to the existing scope. It is a big scope change, right or wrong?
Yeah.
That's 2.0.
Okay, it's that then it will come under 2.0 because 1.0 has been handling only with OP billing. If the complete scope has been revised and modified, then it will come into the second version of software. Same as in Zira already we discussed about this. If you remember, 1.0 and 2.0, right? Software release, second software release. Okay, if any big change is being happening to the existing software, then that will come under 2. It's not straight away after 1.0. If you suggest some improvements, straight away you should not go with 2.0.
So in short, like we go for semantic versioning, like softwares, even for the documents. That's
Of
it.
course. Okay,
Okay.
because this particular document is intended to target the first version of software release, right or wrong? In the first version of software release, you may have multiple revisions ultimately. Okay, because you can take my example with my experience or with my what I can say understanding on these elements, all these things. Still, we are getting minimum 5 to 6 different what we can say revisions. Okay, once we are there working in the client location, minimum of 5 to 6 revisions will happen. Then only we can get the approval, and then only we can move it to the next level. If it is let's say 2-3 years, BS, if people are working, generally they may take minimum of about 10 revisions may happen.
Okay.
It is
So in majority of the case, so Dilip, so in majority of the case, it would be like from 1.0 to we will go to 1.1 and then
1.1 and 1.2. It depends on the company. Okay, this company, if you see this document, this company is following 1.1 and 1.2. Okay, even we can follow V1, D1. It is also one sort of maintaining version control, right or wrong? That is what this document history. And for example, by this time, this is an initial draft if you see. Okay, if it is let's say third or fourth version, okay, then you need to mention 1.3 here and the date of revision and what sort of new add-ons that you added, right or wrong?
Okay.
What sort of changes has been suggested by the client or what sort of changes that you added to this document, existing document. That changes, in short, a brief, a summary, you need to write it here. Am I clear?
True.
Okay, the same document history you need to maintain for every document going forward. even for BRD, even for FRD, everything, even SRS, even project closure, everything. Am I clear?
Okay.
Rizika?
Dilip, one question.
Yeah, please.
సో ఇప్పుడు ఇది 1.1 నుంచి 1.2కి మనం ఎప్పుడు ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తాం అంటే క్లయింట్ సైన్ చేశాకనా లేదంటే చేంజెస్ రాగానేనా?
Changes ragane. When the client is asking for us to modify something in the document, you will go with the next version, 1.1. Again, 1.1 is been sending for approval. Again, instead of approval, he shared, no, couple of things, try to add it, then we will look into that. Again, you will get into 1.2. Okay, for example, 1.2 is approved. You don't need to change any document version. 1.2 is approved one, right? So on basis of 1.1, 1.2, you should start working on the BRD.
Okay.
Got the point? After approval, you don't need to change the version. Until and unless you get approval, you may get multiple revisions, right or wrong? You may get multiple suggestions. So each and every suggestion after review, you need to come up with a new version of document, like 1.1 or 1.2 or 1.3, like that. Okay?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Ritika, you have any questions here?
No, sir.
You are clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, and the next part is, see, the document approvals. This document approvals, okay, it is common for a couple of documents, not for all the documents. Okay, if you are going to get approval on this document from a couple of people, see, here this document should be approved by the project sponsor and even the project review group. Here they mentioned which roles are going to be approved this particular document. Okay, in your company straight away CEO is going to approve your document, then you need to write the CEO and their name. Okay, when he approved, the digital signatures, okay, which date he approved, everything should be documented. Make sure everything should be documented. This is very, very important in our particular BA role, because later on, all of a sudden, if something is happened, okay, ultimately people will throw that blame on us, right or wrong? So we need to have a valid proof, okay, when it has been approved. Okay, without any approval, you can't proceed with the next level. That's the reason I'm sticking on that, right? Until and unless this document is approved, the signature and the date has been there in this document, you can't work on the BRD, and you can't say already you approved. Okay, you should show them proof on this date you approved. That's the reason I started working on the next levels. Simple. Okay, so this particular roles, okay, it is not been defined, okay, in this particular document. It depends on your company to company, right? Here in this document, they mentioned, this company mentioned, this project sponsor is a majority of the people. Project sponsor should give the approval on this business case document, and even review group. Project manager, ultimately he should be in the loop, right or wrong? Project manager ultimately should be in the loop, okay, whenever we are interacting with the client, right or wrong? And even the quality.
Sir, this document is filled by BA or senior BA, sir?
Already I answered this question here, if you remember.
Okay.
Who is going to prepare this document? SMEs, solution architects, and the pre-sales consultants, not BA. Okay, this is not being prepared by BA, do remember. Okay, you can ask me a question then. If it is not for BA, why you are bothering us, right?
Maybe right.
Okay, in few scenarios we need to refer this. You need to understand that you need to refer this document, and based on that you need to start working on your BRD and the next levels, right? So at that moment you should not be surprised to see this, right? Okay, straight away the solution outline has been given, then you can start working on the goals and everything. You can start working on it. But if you don't have any solution, okay, the solution is been approved there in the business case document, you should come and refer this, right or wrong? And based on this, again, you need to start understanding those goals and all. Again, the same story will come into picture after this, right? So that's the reason I'm explaining you this. But that doesn't mean this document has been prepared by BA. No, already I answered this question. Okay, majority of the cases this SMEs, because enterprise analysis can't be done by individual BA. Do remember, enterprise analysis has been done to the entire organization, right or wrong? This gap analysis, even SWOT analysis, problem analysis, all these things is a part of the complete organization level. It's not like one particular process level. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, So these three elements are in common. This document approvals, okay, it depends on the document. Couple of documents will be shared. No need to have any approvals. At that moment, document approvals, you can avoid it, okay? And a couple of documents needs to be get approval. Then you have to keep this approvals as well, and from whom you are taking approvals, their roles and their names and even their signatures. Okay, not a physical signature, digital signatures along with that date. On what date that they signed it, okay? You have to map it. Clear on this?
Yeah.
Karthik and Ritika, clear on this?
Yeah, Dilip.
Yes.
Okay. And the next one, the table of contents. Okay. Please listen carefully. If you have any doubts, let me know. Okay. This is for an understanding. Still understand completely. Okay. See this executive summary. This is common for every document, right? Executive summary should talk about the client business as well as to the in few scenarios to the concerning document. For example, now we are preparing business case. What is this business case is intended for? What sort of information we are keeping here? Okay. Or in few scenarios, this executive summary even talk about the client summary as well. Okay. For example, now we are working for ABC Hospital. The ABC Hospital, when it is established, okay, and from which year these people are starting their operations and what operations these people are into, okay, and which locations these people are into, about the complete client summary as well, we can write it here. Along with that, the document intent, this document is going to be explained you concerning this business problem or available options or recommended solutions. It's all about the summary of this document and the client. Simple.
Does that include the business rules as well?
Here, business rules, it is little early here. Okay.
Okay.
Once you
Okay.
find out the solutions, okay, then you on the solution part, business rules are been influencing, right or wrong? Until and unless you find out the solution, you may not have any influence of business rules,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So the summary should talk about the business, the client overview. Along with that, the document overview. What is this document is going to tell you? Okay, that is what this executive summary is all about. Okay, let me write. A document here, that will be good, right? Otherwise we may messed up. Okay, this is business case.
So which
So-
kind of business case is this, Dilip? Like
The problem
way.
statement.
Okay.
Problem statement. Okay, the first 10%.
Sir, there
I
are
told.
any parts, there
Yeah.
are any types of business cases, sir?
Of course, two types of business cases. That is what I discussed. Two types of business cases are there. One business case will talk about the problem statement and the recommended and the optimal solution. And one business case will straight away will give you an in short of the expectation set.
Like
The outline.
HMS.
Like HMS, yes.
Okay.
Already I've seen one scenario, right? This other
Yes,
scenario
sir.
now I'm explaining you.
Okay.
Okay. Clear on this, guys?
Yeah.
Right? So let me start with document version control. Okay, this document version control. This will be maintained to understand the document revisions, right? And versions. And what changes is the document having. Okay, document version control. And the second one is document approvals. Document approvals, and this approval is nothing but from whom you are taking. You need to take approval. Proceed further. Okay, their roles, names, digital signatures, right or wrong? Digital signatures and dates, date of approval. We need to maintain here. Am I clear? Karthik and Ritika, is that clear now? Okay. Now coming into the executive summary part. The executive summary should talk about executive Summary should talk about the client business overview, right? Business overview, like client business establishments and his operations and branches, all these things, etc. Right? Along with the document summary, like this business case document, what it is telling us, the problem statements, already we discussed, right? The problem statements, available solutions, right? Available solutions or options and recommended solutions, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what this executive summary is all about. Guys, is that clear so far?
Yes, Dilip.
Ritika and Karthik.
Yes.
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay. Right. Okay, the next one is the business problem, the actual problem. Okay, we need to discuss in this business case. Already we discussed about this, but we discussed straight away business problem is nothing but all the challenging areas that we're going to discuss. Okay, the challenging areas might be in few scenarios it is going to affect some environment as well, right or wrong? Because if you take HMS or what we can say OP billing, in the as is process, possibly they may use a lot of paper, right or wrong? It has been indirectly affecting to the environment.
Okay. Yes.
Am I clear? In few scenarios, if you're working on some clinical trials projects, especially clinical trials or kind of what we can say chemical related IT applications, then even the chemicals or the clinical trials, the medicines, okay, those chemicals have been affecting to the environment, right or wrong? So to reduce, okay, first of all, you need to understand what sort of environmental issues are there, right or wrong? Even that we need to discuss it. It is applicable only if the existing business process is affecting some environment, okay, some environmental issues, then only you can add these environmental issues, otherwise you don't need to bother about it. Okay, and then actual problem analysis. Yeah, someone have questions? Yeah, tell me, Sharon.
No questions. I said okay.
Okay, so the environmental analysis is applicable when the existing business process will be giving some issues or giving some impact or influence to the environment. Okay, as I told you, for example, our HMS, okay, the existing process is been using huge paper, right or wrong? Everywhere we are using prescriptions, we are using bills, we are using medical reports, everything is manually that we are maintaining in the as process, right or wrong?
Yes.
So we are indirectly disturbing the environment where paper usage we need to reduce it. Okay, so that if we understand the environmental issues and analysis, based on that we can fix that environmental issues in the to be solution, right or wrong?
Right.
By avoiding this paper, by implementing some notifications, sending notifications, okay, about the bills, about the reports, everything we can automate it, and they can see with using PDF formats in the system, soft copies, so that environmental issues can be fixed, couple, not the complete. Okay. Am I clear, Karthik? You are getting? And this environmental issues will be applicable depending on the business process. It has not been applicable for everything. For example, now we are working on a ERP system. Okay, the enterprise resource planning is within the organization. Within the organization, people are not using newspaper, to be fair. At that moment, it may not be giving any effect to the environment, right or wrong? Majority of the ERP systems have been communicating through emails rather than communicating with papers or something.
Yeah.
Right? So at that moment, it is not applicable. This is been applicable depending on the business process. If there is any, okay, such environmental issues are there, then you need to discuss about that environmental issues in this environmental analysis part. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Ritika and Karthik, is that clear so far?
Yeah, Dilip.
And the next part is problem analysis, the actual problem analysis. What exactly the challenges people are facing, the gray areas, the gaps, everything should be discussed in this problem analysis part. Okay, the actual business problem. Am I clear?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Okay, and once you discuss about the business problem, then you get into the available options. Already we discussed all these elements, but still I'm revising it. Okay, after discussing the business problem, then you'll come up with available options. Already I discussed here, right? Available options.
Yes.
right? So after executive summary, this business problems. In this business problems, we should discuss about the environmental issues, if any. I'm writing if any, it's an optional thing, right? Environmental issues and actual business problems. And to identify actual business problems, what you need to apply? By applying enterprise, right or wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
Enterprise analysis is nothing but SWOT you can apply here. Even a problem analysis. Problem analysis is nothing but root cause, right? Root cause analysis, and even gap analysis can be performed here. Gap analysis or impact analysis. Okay, by performing all these things, you can understand the actual business problems, right or wrong?
Yeah.
See, always I'm writing analyst only. I used to habituate with this business analysis, analysis. Yeah. Okay, so once the business problems are being clear, okay, from the environmental perspective and from the actual problems perspective, then to fix this environmental issues and the actual business problems, we should come up with multiple available solutions, right or wrong? So available options or solutions, I can say here. Okay, this will give us all the feasible solutions, which will address the actual business problems and environmental issues, right? Guys, is that clear?
Yes, Dilip.
Karthik?
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay, if you have any questions, please ask me. Okay, but still it is for our understanding, but still when you're understanding, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so the business problems will be discussing the environmental issues, if any, and along with that the actual business problems by applying this enterprise analysis, such as root cause analysis or SWOT or gap. All these analysis will come into picture right here. Okay, so by applying this enterprise analysis, we need to identify actual business problems. Those business problems we will discuss here in this problem analysis. Am I clear? And then we will get into the available options, and each option will have couple of parameters. Already we discussed about this, right? Option 1, okay, for example, this is COTS. For example, let us consider option 1 as COTS in our context. Okay, so how this COTS, commercial of the self, what exactly the commercial of the self, we need to describe about it in the description part, and the benefits of this particular COTS. Okay, and even costs are incurring. Okay, the costs are incurring to implement this particular COTS. For example, if you take Salesforce CRM, okay, the entire Salesforce CRM features are not being required by the client. Already I discussed this point, if you remember. Okay, if you see here, okay, if the client problem is actually lead organization, the entire lead organization is a part of Salesforce CRM. Okay, Salesforce CRM is having multiple other features as well. Okay, this lead organization or lead management is a small module in Salesforce CRM. So the entire Salesforce CRM is not fit into the actual problem, right or wrong? So you need to customize the COTS, and the customization, what we can say, features only you need to deploy it to the client, right or wrong? Okay, those things we need to discuss here in this benefits, and for implementing those things, what sort of costs are going to incur, how many people you are going to take it, and what time it will take. All these things you need to discuss here. Benefits, costs, and feasibility to implement these costs. Okay, this feasibility will tell you whether the COTS can be implemented there in the client missions or not, right? Because some sort of feasibility issues are there. Even I came across a couple of feasible challenges in my experience. Because, for example, if you are right away suggesting some COTS product, like Oracle ERP are suggesting, Oracle ERP will have some specific configurations. Okay, if the configuration is there at the client systems, then only you can implement that. Otherwise, you can't, right? For example, this Oracle ERP requires some good configurations of systems. Then only that can be deployed in the client machines. If the client is having very old systems, there is no such feasibility is there, right or wrong, to implement cards product.
Yes.
Am I clear?
Yeah.
So even you need to check how feasible to provide this solution is. Okay, how feasible to provide solution this particular cards to the client location. Okay, along with that you need to identify risks. Already I told you risks multiple times. Risks are coming from the threats. Do remember, when you apply SWOT, all the threats, straight away threats are nothing but risks. Okay, like environmental risks or technology risks or requirements risk. We have multiple types of risks. Okay, what sort of risks are being influencing here, okay, to implement this solution, whether those risks can be addressed or not. Okay, that particular risks we need to identify here along with issues, and ultimately you can take some assumptions. Okay, ultimately you can take assumptions for all the options. Already we have that option here, even there in the solution as well we have assumptions, if you remember, right?
Yeah.
Right. So concerning all these elements, you need to discuss about each option. And see here, we mentioned option 1 and option 2 as well here. Okay, so now we need to mention this COTS as one first option, and the second option is open source. About these two things we need to describe here in this document. Okay, this option 1, like a COTS, what is the description of COTS, what are the benefits of COTS, and what are the costs incurring to implement this COTS available products, and what sort of feasibility to implement COTS, what sort of risks, what sort of issues are there.
Dilip, what's the precise difference between COTS and open source?
COTS is subscription. Already you should tell me, because yesterday I have seen your document, Karthik. By this time you should understand this.
Yeah. No, I
You
just
send me
wanted
a
to
document.
get more clarity, so that's why asking.
You kept a disadvantage. Do you remember in CRM, Salesforce?
Yeah,
disadvantage is subscriptions.
Yeah.
Okay, cards will have some sort of subscriptions, but when it is open source, it is straight away you are implementing for the sake of only one particular client. That is his own product, right or wrong?
Yeah.
So you need to invest every year.
Yeah.
Right, but when it comes to costs, every year you need to keep lakhs of rupees. In few scenarios it is crores as well, depends on the business. Okay.
Yeah. No, because I asked you this question because I was worried whether this open source is the same as the open source license that we have for softwares.
No, open source is
So
nothing
where a community specifically helps us, right?
yes, the community is nothing but IT company. IT company will assist you to implement the open source application. Okay, depending on the client need, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, the same lead. That's the reason I kept a best example here. Lead organization can be fixed with using Salesforce. But if client don't want to keep lakhs of rupees on the Salesforce or Sibyl, then he can request a IT company to prepare or to implement one dedicated solution to him to organize his leads, right or wrong?
True.
The dedicated solution, we call it as open source. Open source doesn't require any subscription, as simple as this.
Okay.
Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all elements, these 5 or 6 elements we need to discuss about each solution. Okay, and then we should come up with the recommended solution. See, recommended solution, right or wrong? Okay, out of these solutions, which option is recommended? The option ranking we need to provide it, and once you provided the ranking in terms of percentages, okay, once you provided the ranking, then you should come up with which option is more recommended to the client business, right?
Okay.
This is what optimal solution. Optimal solution here, see, suggest, recommended, or optimal solution. Okay, we need to provide ranking and then we need to come up with the recommended solution, right or wrong?
For which we'll have a war room meeting again for this.
I'm sorry,
Come up with one solution.
I didn't understand your point. Sharon.
Like we have like a 2 to 3 solutions where we are giving a ranking, right?
Right.
So that rankings are based on this war room meetings.
No. The rankings, for example, now I'll give you one small ranking here. For example, this COTS. Let us discuss about COTS and open source. Okay, let's say COTS budget is very less compared to open source, if I'm not wrong, because it is kind of customization, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, existing product, you are customizing it and you are building the solution, right or wrong? It is having less budget, if I'm not wrong, right?
Okay.
But when you are building a complete IT solution from the scratch, it will take more budget. Are you clear on this?
Yes.
Okay, and when you are implementing or when you are customizing it, customizing will be always easiest task to implement from scratch onwards, right or wrong? Compared to from scratch onwards. So here I may have less resources. Here open source we may have more resources required, right or wrong?
Yes.
But compared to risks, when it comes to risks, ultimately COTS is having huge risks.
Correct.
Do you agree?
Correct. Yes.
Why? Because the complete intellectual information or the sensitive information that we are keeping in public sources, it's having huge risk, right or wrong?
Yes.
When it comes to open source, that is your own product. You can keep your data anywhere, right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, so risks, in risks percentage, COTS is having huge risks and open source is having less risks. And compared to the time, ultimately time will be taking more to the open source implementation, because from scratch onwards we are going to develop. For example, here, if you are taking 8 months, this COTS customization will hardly take 3 to 4 months.
Correct.
Right or wrong? And in the similar way, even we need to identify the other versions as well, feasibility, okay, and issues or assumptions, all these things we can consider, and that parameters only will give you which solution will be optimal, because always client is looking for less risks, okay, even budget is also less, but ultimately client is looking for less risks, so that he don't have any influences from the external sources, right or wrong? Okay, and even client is also looking for less budget ultimately, but here we talk about a less budget for the COTS, but every year you need to invest it, right or wrong?
Yes.
Every year you need to invest lakhs of rupees. That is what, still it is a less budget. For example, here you are keeping 50 lakhs, okay, at one time, and here you are keeping 10 or 15 lakhs per year, then hardly within 5 years you can reach this 50 lakhs, right or wrong? So rather than going for COTS, ultimately open source is effective in my consideration, as per my understanding, right or wrong?
One-time investment.
Because after 5 years, COTS again, you will be becoming zero after 5 years subscription. But if you invest 50 lakhs on this open source, the application is with you for lifetime.
Correct. It's like one-time investment.
One-time investment.
Yeah.
Guys, you're getting my point?
Yes.
Ritika and Karthik.
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay, so that is what the ranking will be provided. Okay, in that basis, we'll provide ranking. It's not like any arguments or all these things will not go. Okay, based on the rankings, okay, which is more feasible, which is less feasible, which is having more risk, which is having less risks, we'll recommend which with options with less risks, possibly nominal, what we can say budget, less cost always, and more feasibility, right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay, more feasibility should be there to provide that recommended option. If we have all these 4 or 5 elements is more feasible, then we can recommend that option is more effective for the client business. And ultimately, do remember one point here, this is just a recommended option. Client may not choose the same option which you recommend. It's ultimately client wish. Okay, once you provided multiple solution, in his point of view, he may go with any solution. For example, I came across one situation when we are working on this COTS and open source. Initially, the client recommended to go with COTS for first 1 or 2 years until and unless the open source application has been implemented, you know.
Okay.
Because first of all, he want to run his business. That is what his point.
Okay.
Okay, he took 1 or 2 years subscription initially. Then later on, by the time you can, he started working on the open source. So he recommended 2 solutions to go with.
Okay.
He opted for, because initially he wanted to run his business by with the help of COTS, and once he started working on the COTS, by the time the open source is completed, straight away he migrate, okay, from the COTS to open source straight away, right or wrong?
అంటే ఈ 2 years లో అతను పెట్టిన రిటర్న్స్ కూడా వచ్చేస్తాయి.
Okay, so that is ultimately client perception. You should not compel him, or you should not what we can say, force him to take only this option is recommended, you go with this. Should not. Okay, you just provide a recommendation.
Sir, in the available options, the client will choose from option 1 or option 2.
Or both. That is what I said. Okay, any of the option client may choose.
Okay, yes.
Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Karthik.
Yeah,
Is that clear?
got it. Yeah.
Okay, so let us write this available options. Already I wrote it. Okay, now options ranking. Right? Options ranking only this. Sorry, recommended option. Recommended option or solution. Okay, for your understanding, I'm writing solution. Option is nothing but solution only. Okay, this will have options ranking. Options are solution. Options are solution ranking. On what basis we provide this ranking? Ranking based on the multiple parameters, right? What are those parameters?
Price, feasibility,
Budget.
budget.
Okay, budget is nothing but cost. Resources, feasibility, right?
Yeah.
Feasibility, risks, assumptions, like that, etc. Okay.
Okay.
And once we have this multiple options, okay, uh, options ranking, then we'll provide which option is mostly recommended, right or wrong?
Okay.
The client business process.
Then
Client.
what if the risks are sitting on the same level for two solutions and the budget is in something like a variable?
Then combination of it. Then risks and budget will combo will take the decision, right or wrong?
Okay.
When you have a common risks or when you have a common budget, they'll merge other two elements. Okay, combination of parameters they'll take, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, clear on this? And once we provided the recommended options, for the recommended options, what sort of implementation approach? Because you are providing a, what we say open source is most recommended solution here. For example, I'm telling how this open source application can be implemented. Okay, when how this project initiation will happen, how this project planning. Okay, kind of all these elements will have there in the work breakdown structure, or possibly you are aware of Gantt charts, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so how this project will be planned, okay, that we will discuss in this implementation approach part. Am I clear?
Okay.
Guys, clear on this?
Yes, you do.
Okay, and finally this appendix is also common for all the documents, and especially this appendix will contain the supporting documentation. This is very, very important. Please listen carefully. The supporting documentation is nothing but on what basis you prepared all these documents. Okay, on what basis you prepared all these elements of this document. For example, all of a sudden you move to some other project, being a business analyst or a pre-sales consultant, you may move to some other project in between, right? And someone else is going to join your project, then he should understand this document, right or wrong?
Yes.
Every time he may not come and bug you on what basis you cut this benefits, or on what basis you cut this costs or feasibility, all these things. If you provide related documents or supporting documentation, how you prepare these elements, so that that guy will refer the document and will understand, okay, about this elements. Am I clear on this?
Yeah.
Because for example, you may took some document analysis, okay, or existing documents you read to provide all these options or to provide this recommended solution. So what documents you referred, you need to write it here. Or you refer some what we can say, some public sources like encyclopedias or something, okay. So that site names you have to mention it here, so that the person in the next level hierarchy, those who's going to work on your project, he'll understand on what basis you prepared this document. Am I clear?
Yes, Dilip.
This is applicable for even BRD, FRD, every document. Do remember, supporting documentation is such a very important element for a document, especially. On what basis we prepared those elements of the document, we need to write it there.
Okay.
Karthik, is that clear? Karthik and Ritika.
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay. So recommended solution, then implementation approach. Implementation approach. This implementation approach will discuss how we implement the recommended solution, right or wrong? Recommended solution, okay, using project planning and initiations, project planning, initiation, closing, etc. Okay, all the elements we will discuss here. And finally, after implementation, appendix. Okay, this appendix is not only for supporting documentation. If you are using some acronyms, hope you are aware of this acronyms and abbreviations, right?
Acronyms, yes.
Okay, because a couple of people are using some shortcut names. Okay, you need to mention what is the shortcut names here. If you are using some what we can say, some definitions, for example, you mentioned HIPAA. So what is this HIPAA? That abbreviation you have to write it under appendix. So acronyms and abbreviations along with supporting documents, supporting documents.
Supporting documents in the sense
Is
references
like,
or
yes, references, exactly. Supporting documents is like on what basis we prepared this document elements. Okay, is that clear?
yeah.
Ritika and Karthik, is that clear?
Yeah,
Any
Dilip.
questions so far?
No, Dilip.
Ritika?
No, sir.
నాకు ఇది మళ్ళీ ఇన్ఫెక్షన్ ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది.
I'm sorry,
బాగా
I said that this is not that important. We are not preparing it. That's the reason you are not asking questions, it seems, right?
No. I think we have a limited questions in this module as of now.
Right, because most of the things already we discussed. Possibly, my gut feeling is that is the point. Otherwise, tell me.
Yes,
Okay.
agree with you. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now let us come to this work breakdown structure. Okay, this work breakdown structure is very simple, guys. It's not like the complete what we can say. Even this document also we should not prepare. Okay, don't need to worry about it. But even you need to refer this work breakdown structure. This work breakdown structure should talk about this. See here in the implementation approach, we followed some project initiation, planning, execution, all these things, right?
Yeah.
So these particular phases, how we are executing it. Okay, which phase, what time we are taking. Okay, and what resources we are planning in that particular phase, and what sort of budget or what sort of cost is incurring but by that particular phase, that we will discuss here in this work breakdown structure. That's it. See, initiation, planning, execution and coordination, finalization, right?
Okay.
Guys, you are clear on this?
Yes.
Okay, see here on the top we mentioned this project name, okay, and the project manager. Who is the project manager?
Dilip, your voice was breaking.
Now is that clear?
Hello?
Sir, I'm not able to hear your voice.
Hello?
Dilip, your voice is breaking.
Okay. Hello. See, now is that clear? Sharon, you are also facing the same problem.
No. For me, it's clear.
Ritika and Karthik, still you are facing the same challenge. Hello.
It's a bit better, but not 100%.
From my end, network, everything is good. Even I kept the full volume. Guys, do one thing. Just log out and log in once.
Now it is good, sir.
It's good. Karthik, what about you?
Yeah, now it's okay, Dilip. It's a bit okay. Like if it
Probably
happens again,
some
then I will
network
just
challenges.
sign off and sign in.
Yeah, probably it is networking challenges. Okay, fluctuations possibly. Okay, if you have the challenge, let me know and you just log out and log in once. Then it will be sorted out. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, Dilip.
Yeah, this work breakdown structure, I opened this document, the second document, work breakdown structure. This work breakdown structure should talk about, okay, this particular phases. Already we discussed a couple of phases here in the implementation approach, like how the project can be initiated, okay, how the project planning will be done, and how the project execution will be done, and how the project closure will be done, right? So each and every phase, what sort of cost it is incurring, and who are the resources have been participating in that particular phase, okay, and what is the actual completion date, what is the planned completion date. Those things we need to mention and maintain in this work breakdown structure. That's it. Am I clear?
Prepared by project manager.
Project manager, that's the reason project manager name we wrote it here, right?
Yeah.
See, project manager and project artifacts. If are there any artifacts that you are expecting, like let's say Gantt chart or BRD or some business case, what sort of artifacts, okay, on what sort of artifacts based that you prepare this document, okay, and every project will have some IDs. That project ID you need to mention it here.
Yes.
See, okay, and the sponsor name also you need to mention it here, because the sponsor is very, very important here, because the sponsor will be checking this particular work breakdown structure. He'll follow this. Okay, he'll not follow actual requirements, all these things. The sponsor will see when the initiation should start and when that should be completed, whether it is completed as per the plan or not.
Okay.
Because he should provide the funds. See, even costs also been there, right?
Yeah.
He should provide the funds, right? So that he should pool in the funds for the next phase, for the planning, for the execution, all these things. Am I clear?
Okay.
Karthik and Ritika, am I clear?
Yeah, Dilip.
Yeah?
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay, see the initiation phase. Okay, for the initiation phase, are there any dependent tasks are there? We need to write it. Okay, for initiation phase, we need to get approval on the business case document. Okay, if the dependency is there, approval. Okay, need approval for the business case document on the recommended solution. Okay, that is a dependency for us, right or wrong? And even the status, whether it is under process or in pipeline or to be started. Okay, whatever the status is, that you need to write it here. And effort hours, actually how many hours that you are planning this initiation phase. Okay, it is all about going forward man hours only, it is not a particular days.
Okay.
Am I clear? Going forward, not going forward, since many years IT companies are following only man hours. Okay, they are not following man days. Okay, day is different, hours is different. Even I told you in Scrum, if you remember. Okay, on a day basis, if you are working on 8 hours effectively, this 8 hours will be calculated as only 4 to 5 hours, hardly 4, not even 5. Okay,
Yeah.
half of the hours they'll calculate, because effective working hours is only 4 if you see.
Okay.
Right or wrong? So the actual man hours required to complete this particular initiation phase, we need to write it here. Okay, this will be.
And is that man hours can be achieved by multiple people working at times?
Yes,
or is that the total
yes.
number of hours for
Total
every
number
person?
Yes, every person. Even we need to write the resources involved. See here. I'm sorry. See here, we have resources as well. Resources as well. Now you understood? Even we have resources who are involved in this particular phase. It's a combination of multiple resources. It's not like one single resource. Do remember. Okay? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay, and even the budget, what is the cost that is incurring for this particular initiation? That's the reason we involved a sponsor here. He's going to sponsor, he's going to release the funds for this particular phase, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the actual start date? When you are going to plan the start, okay, when you are going to plan to start this initiation, and a planned completion date, along with that even estimated completion date as well, or actual completion date. We kept two different, estimated and actual completion. This estimation is when you don't have any clear picture when it is going to be completed. For example, 30 man hours you calculated, possibly you're expecting some leaves or holidays or something. Then you may not be clear when it is going to be completed, this 30 hours, right or wrong? At that moment, if you don't have any clarity on the end date, you can keep estimation completion date. Okay, and this actual completion date is once you started and executed this. Okay, so when this has been completed, this is actual completion date. Am I clear? Guys, am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, and in the similar way, see, once we are there in the initiation phase, see the remaining phases are in pipeline. Pipeline is nothing but it is going to be started in the next phase. Pipeline is nothing but it is there in the pipeline. So once the first process is done, then we will go with the next phase, right or wrong? That is what we call it as pipeline. And for this, are there any dependencies? Even we need to write it here. And again, once it is started, we will make it as under process. Okay, and again, the effort hours is required to complete this planning phase, and how much cost is being involved to plan that particular complete project planning phase, and what is the start date, what is the completion date, if you have estimated. Okay, what is the estimated date and what is the actual completion date, and who are the resources are involved. Very simple.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Yeah.
Am I clear on this?
Yeah.
So
Like
let
why
us,
we have mentioned like 0 under finalization? Is it 50 or 5?
50
Okay.
manners.
Okay.
Okay, it's not 0.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not 0, it's 50. Okay,
Uh,
and this is work breakdown structure, right? See why I'm writing here, while listening, everything is clear as per my understanding. But once again, we started recollecting that the same thing. Couple of people are missing the actual concepts. That's the reason I'm writing. Okay, the descriptions, short descriptions for each element. Okay.
okay.
Am I clear?
Yeah.
This here I'm not writing any elements. Simply some short description I'm writing here. Okay. This WBS will give us the actual man hours required to complete each phase of the project implementation, right or wrong? Project
Dilip, and
implementation.
real time, whose work is this work breakdown structure?
Work
BA's
breakdown
or-
structure? No, no, no. It's project manager. Already I told you this. See, project manager. That's the reason this owner of this document is project manager here. That's the reason we need to write his name. Okay.
Okay.
But still we need to refer again. If you ask the same question, why you are bothering us with this, my answer is again, you need to refer this as per this reference only. You need to plan your strategy and you need to execute your what we can say solution. Okay. Project implementation approach. Okay, so this work breakdown structure will give us the actual man-hours required to complete each phase of the project implementation approach, and including what are the things that we are going to include here, including the costs, right, incurring by each phase, right or wrong, each phase. And tell me why you are silent. I don't write it here until and unless you told.
Sir.
You're waiting for me every time if I'm writing something. You tell me, no, already you understood what is work breakdown structure. Okay, the cost incurring and resources involved, right or wrong, resources involved in each phase, and start date, estimation, completion dates, and actual completion dates, right?
Okay.
These are the elements that we are going to cover here in this particular work breakdown structure. Okay, and the majority of the cases we need to refer this either work breakdown structure or Gantt chart. Accordingly, we need to plan our work. Okay,
Okay.
am I clear?
Yes.
Karthik, is that clear?
Yeah, Dilip.
Yes, work breakdown structure is clear so far, right?
Yeah.
Guys, you want some break?
Fine, actually.
Okay, only one document, this planning BA strategy will complete, and then we'll move on to the, then we'll stop this discussion today. Okay, tomorrow we'll discuss about BRD and all. Okay,
Okay.
hardly it will take another 15 minutes. Okay,
Okay.
then we will take a leave. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yeah.
And see here, for your question, if you have any questions, why you
can't,
yeah, Ritika, tell me Ritika.
now I can hear your voice.
Yeah, all of you can hear my voice now clearly, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right, see, the question, even answer is also here. Okay, if we have a question why work breakdown structure, we need to refer. See, based on the work breakdown structure or the Gantt chart, we need to plan our strategy. This planning BA strategy will give you a brief idea like what sort of tools or what sort of strategies you are following being a business analyst to complete the project. Okay, before initiating the project, how you are going to plan your strategies. For example, what sort of illustration techniques you can use in this project, what sort of modes of communications, what sort of tools you are using, and what sort of plan for change requests. All these things we'll discuss in this planning BA strategy. This is very, very important. From this document onwards, we need to prepare. Do remember.
Okay.
Okay, this is planning BA strategy. Planning BA strategy should be done by BA only, right or wrong?
Yeah.
There is no other go, right? Okay, so straight away we should copy that work breakdown structure or the Gantt chart here in this particular phase. Okay, in this particular column. Okay, to understand how the project plan has been happening. Based on this project planning, you need to prepare your strategy. Okay, and before preparing strategy, you need to write your project name and project ID. As I told you, these two are important for every project. And here you can mention the client name for which client that you are dealing with the project. Okay,
Okay.
am I clear?
Okay.
And see here a couple of phases. These phases, being a business analyst, we are responsible. That's the reason we mentioned these phases. For all these phases, what sort of strategies what we can say planning. For example, first requirements gathering phase. Okay, requirements gathering is completely owned by business analyst, right? Do you agree with that?
Correct.
Okay, because completely
Yes.
the complete requirements gathering part we need to take care. But when you are going to take care, first of all, you need to have a strategy. Okay, how you are going to execute the gathering part, right? See
Yes.
here,
All these are
what's
meditation techniques.
exactly what sort of techniques that you are using here. Here we mentioned 8 or 9 techniques for our understanding, but possibly hardly you may use 4 to 5 techniques in each project. Majority of the cases, okay. But which techniques that you are planning? Before project execution only you have to prepare this, okay, because ultimately, for example, if you are dealing with a banking client, okay, you need to prepare a strategy how to interact with the banking clients, because majority of the banking people are occupied with their daily work, right or wrong?
Correct.
At that moment you should not conduct a brainstorming session. Am I clear?
Okay.
If you start conducting brainstorming session for them, again they lost their business, right or wrong?
Correct.
So majority of the cases, especially for banking, because I worked that for banking projects. That's the reason I'm aware of it. Okay, especially for banking projects, the best technique is observations.
Okay.
Okay, either active or passive.
So that's what about to ask, like how frequently we use brainstormings.
Very good question. Then, if that is the case, okay, this brainstorming session recently, one guy asked me a big question. Asked me like which techniques have been used on what scenarios. Okay,
Yeah.
see, brainstorming is being used when you don't have a clear picture on the scope, or a clear picture on the scope definition part. Then you better go with brainstorming. Brainstorming is simply gathering multiple ideas, irrespective whether you consider it or not. First of all, you should gather multiple ideas, right or wrong?
So each and every departments are involving in this.
Yes, even business stakeholders, even other than business stakeholders, even third-party stakeholders also can include in the brainstorming sessions.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this brainstorming session is conducted when you don't have a clear vision on the scope definition part, because still you are finding out which option is more recommended, which solution that you are planning, and what sort of solution scope is there. Okay, so if you don't have this clear idea, then you can better go with brainstorming sessions. These brainstorming sessions will help us to gather different ideas from the stakeholders.
Okay.
You got the point? Different ideas from the stakeholders. But when you have a clear defined scope, you may not go with brainstorming, right or wrong?
So
When
it
you
is not
have,
applicable for HMS. Is it, or is it's not?
for HMS, the best technique can be used is focus groups,
And why?
because already you have a very clear idea like how many departments are working here in this HMS,
Okay.
and each department what sort of defined responsibilities they're having it. Already they have a clear picture on it. So if you go and conduct one focus group on particular department, they'll tell you what sort of what we can say responsibilities or operations they are doing it, right or not? That is what focus group is all about.
Okay.
This is my recommendation. I'm not telling only go with focus groups. Okay, this is my recommendation.
Okay.
Okay, but in this context, if someone is asking me to go with brainstorming, I don't go, because if brainstorming session is happened here, even for example, now we have reception department. Possibly this reception desk operations may not be aware by the what we can say lab technician. Possibly, in my strong gut feeling, if he shares some ideas here, again that will create some mess.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Yes.
Karthik and Rutika. Yeah, understanding the point.
Yeah, Dilip.
Okay, so it all depends on the business process. Okay, and especially I told you one example for banking, the observations is required, because even I told you the reason, because majority of the banking industry people are having their own business processes on daily basis, right or wrong? At that moment you should not call for a meeting for them, because even during weekends nowadays people are working, banking people are working, right? Alternative weekends. So you may not take their time, especially especially for a discussion for 2-3 hours. They may not, that might not be possible. That's the reason either we can go with either what we say this observations, either active or passive. Otherwise you can go with a questionnaire kind of survey.
Then what is the difference between these interviews and focus groups, Dilip?
Interviews one-to-one. Focus group is a complete group, complete department, people that you are interacting with. Interviews
So
can be possible
if
to
I want to
one-to-one.
interact with the department, I'll start with one-on-one, right?
No. See, you're maybe interacting with one-to-one. Okay, that doesn't mean that is interview. Interview is nothing but it is asking questions and getting answers, right or wrong?
Correct.
Focus group is nothing but concerning the department operations that you're understanding. You're not asking any questions. Majority of the cases, right or wrong?
Okay.
They're understanding, like, can you let me know what sort of operations that you people are handling? You need to make a note of it. If you have any doubts in between, then you have to ask them.
Okay.
But interviews is nothing but already you prepared a questionnaire and you should ask. You should get the answers from the one-to-one discussions.
Okay.
You got the point? You got the difference between interviews and focus groups.
Yes.
And make sure you need to have a clear, what we can say, differentiation between all these illustration techniques. That is very, very important.
Okay.
Because majority of the people, even when I'm taking mock interviews, people are unable to tell the difference between brainstorming and focus groups and even workshops. Okay, and why we are using brainstorming, if I ask, then people are not able to tell.
Okay.
Okay, you should make sure that the differentiation between interviews and questionnaire, all these things, you should have a clear picture on it. And this possibly you may have a small doubt here. Interviews and questions are one in the same.
Correct.
Right? Even interviews as well, we'll ask questions, right?
Yes. So for preparing that interview, you need some questions.
Correct, ultimately. But interviews, one-to-one, you are taking it. Okay, but questionnaire, you may not take one-to-one. Okay, you may share this common questionnaire in the public groups as well, kind of forums, you know, kind of forums.
Okay.
Kind of, if you see nowadays, even concerning this COVID pandemic, yesterday, NTV conducted one survey.
Yeah.
Okay, there are specific questions there, like how the KCR government is towards COVID-19 operations or COVID-19 pandemic. That is a question.
It's more or less like Quora.
Kind of. Okay, it's a kind of survey. Okay, a questionnaire is nothing but already predefined questions are there that you are sharing with a large number of audience, and large number of audience will send you their answers, their opinions.
Okay.
Based on the opinion poll, you need to decide whether to go with the same opinion, or you can decide the alternative opinion, because every question will have two dimensions, right or wrong, either positive or negative.
Okay.
Okay, majority of the survey is been telling you go with the positive note, then you take the positive case only, right or wrong. So questionnaire will help you there. Kind of service, questionnaires or surveys are one in the same.
Okay.
Let me write it, surveys, right? Clear, guys? Here?
Yes.
Karthik and Ritika, you're there?
Yeah, Dilip, clear.
Yeah. Okay, so the requirements gathering techniques which we are using, that we need to write it here. And along with that, what sort of modes of communications, let's say based on the client location, or based on the client availability, what sort of modes of communications that you're planning. Here all the possible modes of communications we wrote it here, and you need to identify which modes of communications is more feasible to the client. See, emails or telephone or phone calls, even couple of people are using webinars. Okay, a couple of people are using video calls. Video conferences. Videos is nothing but video conferences. Okay, and even requirements walkthrough. Which modes of communications you are planning, and especially video conferences. If you people are using kind of WebEx, okay, WebEx, or now we are using Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Zoom, or even a GoToMeeting, right? Any other is there?
Skype.
Even Skype, yes. Couple of people are using Skype. Even couple of people are using TeamViewer as well. TeamViewer.
Okay.
Or even nowadays AnyDesk. Possibly you heard this AnyDesk. Even AnyDesk, couple of people are using. Okay, it's an open source tool. Okay.
Okay.
So what sort of modes of communications you are planning? It is all about preparing just a strategy. It's not like how to use all these things you don't need to discuss here, but what sort of modes of communications, what sort of illustration techniques you are planning to execute in the project execution phase, that you need to decide here. And see, requirements management tool. Okay, the requirements management tool commonly we are using is RTM, right or wrong? Requirements management, in the sense, once you capture the requirement, how we are managing it. Okay, you need to understand how this requirements are being managed by the designers, managed by the developers, managed by the testers, right or wrong? So for that, we are using a tool called RTM, and a couple of people are using Enterprise Architect as well here. Enterprise Architect. Okay, And even other tools are also there, but majority of the people, but enterprise architect is little expensive, but still big companies are using enterprise architect. It is also a little similar to this maintaining tracking this RTM, like
Can we use quality center for this too, or no?
yes, even quality center as well. Quality center as well, we can use it. Okay, multiple tools are available here. Okay, I'm sorry. It's all about tracking the requirements. Okay, how you are managing.
Like Jira?
I'm sorry.
RTM is just like Jira in Agile Scrum.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat it, Sharon? I couldn't hear your voice.
Like RTM is like more or less like Jira in Agile Scrum.
Burn down charts.
Okay.
Okay. That's the reason in replacing RTM, we are having burn down charts there in Jira, if you remember.
Yes.
Okay. So the requirements management tools which you are using it, that you need to mention it here. Okay. Any one, not 3 or 4. Okay. Do remember here I kept all the possible things that we can use it here, but that doesn't mean all these things you need to use it. Couple of things or 1 or 2, right?
Okay.
And which documents that you are planning to prepare. Okay, which documents that you are planning to prepare as well, that you need to write it here. See, understanding documents, already you are aware of understanding
And
documents.
mostly this section would be common for almost all the projects.
Yes.
Like here, there is nothing much we can choose upon.
Correct. Most of the documents are common for most of the projects. Okay. So this BRDs we need to prepare, FRDs we need to prepare, SRS in few scenarios you need to participate in this SRS preparation as well. Once the client, once the technical team is coming up with this SSD, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you need to participate even SRS preparations as well, but user manuals and the training manuals you need to participate, right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay. And especially here, see, we have a slight difference between user manuals and acceptance test cases. We have different test cases. This is a big question for a couple of people. Okay, whether BA has been preparing test cases or not.
Yes, he is.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, you also have the same question. Okay, so many of the cases, okay, because this is a very frequently asked question for me, whether BA is preparing any test case or not. Yes, we do, but the test case, we call it as acceptance test case. You got the point?
Test case.
Acceptance test case. The difference between acceptance test case and the normal test case is, for example, generally this test case preparation is being done by the testers. Already I told multiple times. Testers are going to prepare the test strategies, test plans, and test cases, right or wrong? Already we discussed multiple times in the even Jira, even in the prior discussions as well. Karthik, possibly this discussions we had it, right?
Yeah.
So how far this test cases have been different, okay, from the tester test cases. Tester will write test cases, all the exception cases as well. Even he'll consider exceptions, okay, he'll consider even negatives, positives, everything he'll consider, even including exceptions, he'll write test cases, right or wrong? Okay. But when it comes to BA, when you are facilitating these acceptance test cases, we are preparing to facilitate UAT to the client, right or wrong? To facilitate UAT to the client, we are preparing these user manuals or product manuals or acceptance test cases. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you are facilitating, when you are trying to facilitating UAT, exceptions you may not come up with, because client may not check with exceptions in the initial phases. Okay, as and when he get into that particular situation, he'll look into the exceptional cases. But generally, he is always seeing the what we can say acceptance mode. He's always checking the application, whether, for example, he'll write test case for username, valid username and valid password, and invalid username and invalid password. Okay, this is what he'll check. But once he start entering 3 times invalid passwords, whether it is blocking or not, he may not check, right or wrong? That is an exceptional case for me. Am I clear? And even he may not check whether the password is accepting below 8 characters or above 36 characters. These things we may not write, even client may not check. Am I clear?
Okay.
But even those test cases should be written by the testers.
Okay.
You got the difference? Acceptance test cases we should prepare to facilitate UAT to the client end, so that based on the test cases knowledge, client will execute the test cases, and if he is feeling all are positive, all are passed, then you can go with deployment phases.
So these are the test cases basically which are with respect to the initial expectations.
Initial expectation, exactly, correct. Client expectations, correct, 100%. Okay, so those we call it as acceptance test cases. I'm sorry?
So there is not much difference between acceptance criteria and acceptance test cases.
Acceptance criteria. No. Again,
Well, both are different, right? Like
yes,
there's
yes. There is a slight difference. See, acceptance criteria is nothing but use case spec. Do you remember?
Yes.
Is simply we can define this acceptance criteria as use case spec, right? We understood that.
Correct.
Okay, and how these test cases have been derived? You remember in workshop we discussed about it. Test cases have been derived based on the use cases.
Yeah.
You remember that?
those are the regular test cases that testers do, right?
I'm sorry.
So those are the test cases that regular.
I'm sorry. Karthik, yeah, tell me.
No,
I mean, those are the test cases that regular testers do, like the QA team does.
Yes. Even
Right.
same test cases we are preparing, but only couple of test cases which are comes from the acceptance mode. We are preparing it for sake of facilitating UAT. That's what I'm saying. This test case is not different from the tester test case. For example, if we have 10 test cases for a particular use case, out of 10, hardly we prepare 2 or 3. The remaining are exceptionals, alternative flows, all these things. These been prepared. The remaining 8 is been prepared by the tester, including this 2. Okay, but we should facilitate 2 based on the client expectation, initial expectation, whether we are meeting or not.
Okay.
Right or wrong? That is
So
acceptance test case.
we are preparing only the positive flows.
Yes. Okay. The initial expectations instead of positive flows, initial expectations. Because I just now I said even invalid username and invalid password people will check.
Correct.
That is a negative. That is a alternative flow. Simply I can say. Okay. So instead of calling only positive flow, initial expectation. That is the right term. Okay.
Okay.
Because client should be bothering about whether my username and password is working or not. That is the initial expectation, and he is bothering about if I'm not giving my username and password, whether the system is restricting or not. Even he'll check that, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Is that clear, guys?
Yes. Dilip.
Okay. So, and see, majority of the cases here I defined. Okay, this user manuals, training manuals, or product manuals will be prepared in the context of product-based companies. Okay. And this acceptance test cases will be prepared in the context of service-based companies. Exactly. Okay. For our understanding, I mentioned this. Am I clear?
Okay.
What was it, Dilip? The last point? I didn't quite get it.
See, this user manuals or training manuals, okay, this user manuals and training manuals, generally when you are working on a product, kind of product-based companies, those product-based companies requires user manuals or training manuals or product manuals, okay? But when it comes to the service-based company, we may not have user manuals or training manuals. We may go with acceptance test cases where this will provide enough knowledge to the client to facilitate UAT to the client, okay? So that's the reason I mentioned these 2 things, okay? Guys, I'm really sorry. I have one more session by 1 o'clock. Okay. So these 2 elements we will discuss tomorrow because change request is little important. I want to tell you something here. Okay. This is little important. Tomorrow we'll discuss about these 2 elements. Okay. In the meantime, you refer, okay, these 2 business case and the work breakdown structure along with this business strategy as well, business analysis strategy as well. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll complete these 2 elements and then we'll move on to the VRD and FRD.
Okay.
In the meantime, you complete your pending activities. Okay.
Okay, Dilip. Yeah.
Yeah.
What will
Karthik.
start tomorrow morning?
Yeah, tomorrow morning we'll start by 10:30. That will be good, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
By 10:30, even if it is 10 o'clock, I'll be ready. If you are fine with 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine from that.
Karthik, I have one more session now by 1 o'clock. Possibly that will be completed by 2 or 2:30. Once I had lunch, then I'll give you a call by 3 or 3:30. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Ritika, you are there? Ritika left, huh?
Yeah, Shilya.
Okay, fine. Okay, so anyways, I recorded this session. Okay, I'll send you this recording as well in another 1 or 2 hours. Okay, and even I shared this document with you guys. Okay, and even we forgot to discuss about this interview questions. So far, I didn't see any updates there. 2 pending questions are there. You write answers. Okay, even we will start the discussions from tomorrow. Okay.
And where can we find these
Dilip,
templates?
Which templates? Already I uploaded here. See.
Dilip, one question.
Yes. Yes.
Dilip, can you give us like from start to end all the requirements of an actual project, which include like the flow charts, activity diagrams, use cases.
Yes, that flow that I need to explain. Yes, that will take minimum possibly 45.
No, I'm asking you, like, can you give us like any documents from an actual project that you have prepared previously, because they will be more credible for us, right? Like instead
Okay, you
of
want
going through,
kind of samples, kind of
yeah,
BRD
because
samples or
instead of
FRD
going through
samples.
our own work, it would be
Okay.
better like if we go through your work, because
Yes,
that will be
okay.
more genuine.
Yes,
Without any
concerning this
mistakes.
HMS only, if I have anything, I'll share with you. Okay,
Okay.
that I'll
Okay.
share with you, definitely. But once every document is completed, once you started preparing your documents, then only I'll share it. Until and unless you started preparing on the documents, I don't share it, to be fair, because I don't want you to copy the documents. Okay,
Okay.
once you prepared it, then I'll share with you for your understanding. Okay, by end of this internship sessions possibly. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
See, Karthik, I'm sorry, Sharan, here I uploaded it here. Okay, in Waterfall,
Yeah.
I uploaded in
Okay.
documents. In the documents, all these things are available.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
fine, guys. I'm signing off. Okay.
Okay. Bye. Take care.
Yeah.